What's up guys, it's Cam coming at you from the 2-6. Welcome back to CFR. Before we jump into it, I want to say thank you. There's been over 7,000 of you now that has actually hit that subscribe button. If you have not subscribed yet, please do so. Your support is greatly appreciated. Make sure to go down in the description and check out the merch link. Show your support by buying merch or helping out in any way. There are also discount codes down in the description for different brands, so be sure to check those out. Okay, so let's get into it. What I have is a sample pack from myfragrancesamples.com. I actually bought the new Tower Phthalo Blue, which is the redefinition of the blue fragrance. And as soon as I heard about that, I was like, yeah, I'm in on trying that. I actually ordered a sample and got a few extra goodies. So I've been dabbling around with these. I have got full wearings enough to, because there was actually some other ones in here that were a little bit darker I didn't feel would be quite as appropriate for, you know, because there's enough in here to make like a summer video out of it. But some of the other dark ones, maybe I'll make a video on later. So I just thought it'd be best to stick with summer goodies. Okay, so from Tower, this is a indie brand if you guys are not familiar with. They have a lot of really dark and mysterious and thinking outside of the box fragrances. So if you like creative fragrances, you probably would like to check that brand out, and by sampling is the best way to do that. Now, Phthalo Blue was, you know, bolstered as the redefining the blue fragrance, and I will say they have really done a great job with that. So this has some very interesting notes in here, as well as the, you know, the clean and bright citruses and salty aquatics that you would come to expect from a blue fragrance. And then of course there's things in here that you actually would not expect at all. It does have a kind of a mysterious opening to it. Okay, so this opens up fresh and salty and mysterious. What you're primarily going to get on the opening is like a sweet orange blossom mixed with some geranium, lavender, and then fennel. Fennel just gives it like another depth or layer to, you know, give it some dimension. Fennel is actually a note that I've only seen used, you know, maybe 2 or 3 times in fragrances. Now, sometimes fragrances have notes that I've, you know, not been able to smell in its raw form. I have been able to smell fennel before, and you actually really pick that up in this fragrance. And I think that's what kind of gives it, you know, a bit of a earthiness, a little bit of a, you know, the saltiness, and you're definitely going to pick up like hints of lemon and bergamot and that geranium. It's just a really unique opening. Some of the base notes for this really makes this shine as well. Now, you think gourmand, you don't normally think, you know, fresh and aquatic. Now, this is no way, shape, or form a gourmand fragrance, but it has some gourmand amber, it has some tonka, and it also has some cedarwood. The cedar comes out in here really nice on the dry down, and the lavender and geranium are really kind of lingering, mixed with those, you know, citruses from the lemon and the bergamot and the orange blossom. It's just like a really great dry down. Now, I've wore this, you know, like 3 full wearings. I'm just going to say that all these are pretty much going to be like first impressions, because I like to get more wearings. But what I've got so far is, you know, it's strong. It's not like overpoweringly strong, but you get like a solid, you know, 2 hours of projection, and the performance, I was getting like 11 and a half hours. So I think that's fantastic. This does come in an eau de parfum concentration in 50 ml for $135 if you go to the Tower website, or of course you can also sample. And I always recommend, anytime you're, you know, diving into something like this, sample before you buy, unless it's just like a fantastic deal. So if you're looking for a unique blue fragrance, I would definitely give Phthalo Blue a shot. Okay, the next fragrance that I have is also a 2020 release. I don't know if I mentioned that the Phthalo Blue is a 2020 release. It is. This one is as well. It is Ocean Leather from Mimo. So Mimo, Tower, you don't really ordinarily like draw summer fragrances with that. Even though there are some lighter fragrances that can be worn, but leather in the summertime, yeah, it can be done. But I think Mimo has done a fantastic job with making a oceanic type leather with ocean leather. Now this one, I'm really like, I was kind of unsure about it, you know, like the very first time. I was like, I don't know if I like this or not. But after, you know, like a couple wearings, I really like this. I like this a lot. That was like a weak distribution, but I just wanted to, and it was because I didn't push all the way down the nozzle here, but there is something about this fragrance that is very nostalgic. I couldn't put my finger on it, but it's like, I don't know. I mean, I've taken, you know, boat trips, I've been sailing, and I actually even saw somebody, I don't know if it like, I actually started feeling this way, and I actually saw somebody saying that it reminded them of going sailing and like wearing like leather shoes and, you know, moving the sail and all that. You kind of get that, but it draws me to another memory of being like at the beach on the river. So I've actually taken, you know, river trips from the Cape Fear River here in Fayetteville. There's a place where you can port out right here in Fayetteville and go down the Cape Fear River all the way to the coast, where you get into that brackish water where you actually, you know, got your fresh water and ocean water mixed, and you can either go on out into the ocean or turn it around and go back, which is what we did. We just made like a day trip of going down the river. But this reminds me of that. And there's also another, it's an older memory than that, but anyway, nostalgia. And, you know, you think of, you know, like warm days, boat riding. If you've ever had the opportunity to, you know, do anything like that, you understand where I'm coming from. I hope I'm painting a pretty enough picture for you to kind of get what this fragrance does, you know, mentally anyway. So what I get from this is like fresh and green, and then you have like an aquatic leather, basically. You know, like if you think of maybe, I don't want to say wet leather because I don't want you to think like, you know, old wet leather shoe that's been sitting and, you know, stinks or anything. It's just think like leather Sperry's, you know, just like basically boat shoes, I guess is the best way to do that. And then you've got the ocean water spraying up, or the river mist, or whatever it is. But there's, you know, something salty about it. It's aquatic. The leather note in here is definitely present, but it's not going to be a really, you know, abrasive leather. It's going to be a soft leather. You know, we think like, so when you think like Sperry's, they're not like a leather jacket. You know, those are, you know, for preppies. Actually, believe it or not, I have a couple of Sperry's in there. I don't even know if they're still in style or not. I haven't worn them in a while, but I will throw them on to, you know, walk out to the pool or something like that. But yeah, this is so good. So this one has some mandarin, violet, elemi, basil, cedar, sage, nutmeg, vetiver, and leather. There's something really, you know, it's not like real sweet, but there is a sweetness about it, and it does have a little bit of a saltiness. And I don't know, I just love this fragrance. The vetiver in here is really, really clean. I'm impressed with this. I'm really, really impressed with this. There's been a few releases from Mimo that, you know, I really like, but I haven't smelled anything that has, you know, transported me the way that this has. I really think that this is a solid release. As far as projection goes, it's not going to project quite as hard as the Phthalo Blue, but I did get like a solid, you know, maybe hour and a half or whatever, but it sits a little closer to the skin. But longevity is like boom, out of the park. So if you guys are familiar with Mimo, they have excellent performance. I got a solid 11. It has 11 and a half hours on this one as well. So really impressed with this. So I'd have to say that this is a very strong release for 2020. So in this discovery kit, I had 3 new 2020 releases for this summer. It was the Phthalo Blue, the Ocean Leather, and Bohemian Lime, which I've already reviewed, so I didn't see the point in going back over that. Which leads me to the new indie house that I've been introduced to, or new to me, maybe new to you. I don't know if any of you have heard of Lili Bermuda, but this is a house that we really need to look into. Okay, so the first fragrance I'm going to talk about is crisp, is sweet, is juicy, is delicious. It's called Calypso. So this comes off really crisp and bright and juicy. It's got like a really nice note of bergamot in the opening. Then you have the note of neroli and seagrass. Now, I'm not sure how seagrass smells in as far as like a note. If you've ever been to the beach or the Caribbean, you know how the grass that grows right at the edge of the sand as you're going to the beach, it just kind of gives off that aroma. I'm assuming that's what it is, because I definitely pick up something like that in here, even though I can't officially say that I've like bloop, bloop, I've smelled seagrass. No, I haven't, but it definitely gives off that oceanic vibe as it's coming through. Like, it's just like almost like a clean breeze blowing. And this also has some musk and some sea notes, so it does come off a little bit salty. The musk is like really dialed down, really mellow. This is just a like vacation in a bottle. So I'd have to say for sure that this fragrance and the next two would definitely be something that you'd want to wear, like on vacation, sitting by the pool, just like exactly what you would want for like just even if it's just a mental getaway for the summer. So the next fragrance up is called South Water. This one is actually like my absolute favorite of the three, and I like all three of them a lot. They have several others. They have, some that are, it says for men, says for ladies. I think this one actually might even could pass as a unisex. I mean, probably any of these could, but there's just, I don't know what it is about this. It's got like a real creamy, fresh, clean, I don't know, it's just amazing. So this one has the note of guava in it. So it's going to be really juicy and creamy. It's just wow. So you've got some mandarin, some sea salt, coconut milk, vanilla, mimosa, amber, and musk. So with those playing together, it almost gives off like a date vibe, not like going out on a date, but if you've ever eaten dates, if you've ever smelled dates in a fragrance, it almost has that aspect, especially like if dates and vanilla are together. It gives off a very similar vibe, but this is just a absolute stunner. Yeah, this is going to be casual. As a matter of fact, I think all these fragrances, these last three are going to be more of casual, especially, vacation, board shorts, boat trips, cruises, whatever, just chilling out at a resort. There was a resort I stayed at. It was called the Omni down in Cancun, Mexico. They actually had hammocks, with canopies out at the ocean. People would bring you food while you're sitting out there. They had one thing that I wasn't so sure of is they actually had a jacuzzi bar. So if you see guys sitting at the jacuzzi bar for too long and they're steady drinking and they haven't moved, you're in the water, you know what I'm saying. But let's not think about pea jacuzzi water. Let's think about an amazing fragrance. This one is an absolute stunner and a must-have for summer. One thing I didn't mention about the first one, but it's going to be relevant to all three of these Lili Bermuda, is they come in an eau de cologne concentration, so it's going to have a little bit better performance. On average, I was getting between 5 or 6 hours. This one being the 6-hour one, the other two more or less like 5 hours. This one has actually a little bit better performance. Okay, so the last one I've got is called Fresh Water. It's obviously going to be fresh. It's kind of clean. It's herbaceous. It's got some rosemary in here. It's got some petitgrain. So it's got a little bit more of dimension. If you're into like tropical fragrances, summertime fragrances, or fragrances that will invoke summertime or vacation, yeah, this is going to work perfectly because they use ingredients that are indigenous to Bermuda. And if you guys are not even aware, like straight off of the coast of North Carolina, if you just go straight out, you run into Bermuda. So as I said, this one's a little bit herbaceous as well as green and fresh and clean. It's got a little bit of woodiness and it has a really soft musk as well. So some of the notes in this one are clementine, grapefruit, lemon, neroli, petitgrain, white musk, incense, and precious woods. So this one does have a little bit of a backbone, not nuclear performance, but it is like for the amount of time that it lasts, it is amazing. And these are 100 ml for 90 bucks. That is like really good, and I feel like these are definitely worth it. I know, if you're used to buying designers and if you're paying, 50, 60 bucks or whatever, these are unique enough, for it to be an indie house and actually get 100 ml for 90 bucks. Usually fragrances like these are like 50 ml for 90, 95, 100, 150, and even higher. So I think it's a pretty sick deal for, 100 ml for 90 bucks. Okay, so what I've done is teamed up with Mark at myfragrancesamples.com, and we are going to do the 7K giveaway. Now this is one of a couple of giveaways that I'm going to do. Just want to, really just show my appreciation. If you are subscribed to the channel. Let me know if you know about when you subscribed or what made you subscribe if you're already subscribed. Put it down in the comments. If you're not subscribed, put subscribed down there. I can check and see if you're subscribed, so don't cheat. Sorry, this is for US only, but I would definitely do something for the international viewers, just not on this giveaway because it is coming from a US-based company that only ships to the United States. So what that will be is 10 5 ml bottles like this. It's going to be 5 niche, 5 designers. So what I'll do is I'll just put all those names in one of those random name pickers, and I will let you know down in the comments who won. So this is just one way of saying thank you to all of you. And as I said, I've got a couple more giveaways I'm going to do too. I said I wasn't going to do anything until 10K, but I just can't do it. I'm happy that so many of you are giving me so much positive feedback and so much love. It means a lot to me. I love and appreciate you guys. Until next time, I'll see you on Carolina Fragrance Reviews.